Hello and welcome to the final lesson, lesson 3 of the final module, module 3 of the course How to Become a Competent Economic Development Professional. In the first module of this course, we defined what competence is. In the second module, we defined the personal attributes of a competent economic development professional. In this module, we're discussing how and where to acquire the attributes that were listed. So, in the first lesson of this module, we'll discuss where to acquire the technical attributes that makes a competent economic development professional. We discussed the online and the offline sources of getting this competence. In the second module, we discuss the sources of the supplementary skills. We discuss subscription to newsletters, subscriptions to websites, to platforms, to forums that discusses all of the issues around economic development. We discussed that you ought to be present so you can observe and assimilate some of the characteristics of competent professionals. In this lesson, which is a bonus, we're discussing entrepreneurial economic development approach. This is the MSD plus approach. In MSD seeks to bring private sector into developing innovative solutions to some of the growth constraints that we have in the developing world and in the lives of the poor. We bring in private sector to make sure that whatever it is that they are doing in terms of investment, business operation, is inclusive of the poor. So that's what MSD is. What entrepreneurial economic development approach is then doing is enhancing that with the tools and techniques that has been tried and tested in the private sector, bringing them into economic development approach, the market systems approach, to make it a whole lot more impactful and a lot more dynamic as far as the impact and the solutions that we have is concerned. We want to speak the language of the private sector so we can bring them in and they can join us in creating a better world. So that's entrepreneurial economic development approach. The courses that we have at Deaf TV Academy are focused on fusing the MSD approach with this private sector tools and techniques so we can have better impact in our work. So the takeaways from this course then is that competence in economic development extends beyond the English dictionary. We know that competence means successfully delivering an objective and efficiently delivering that objective. But that definition was extended or is extended by economic development in identifying core elements: rigor, attention to detail, consistency, integrity. These are core elements. And then there is perspective of competence. You have to be competent you have to understand the perspective of your donor, the perspective of the implementing company, the perspective of your partners, the perspective of your beneficiaries, and infusing all of those perspectives, you are able to deliver your work to the satisfaction and expectation of all of these stakeholders. And aside from those perspectives, we then looked at the personal attributes. Intellectually flexible. You have to be context driven. You have to have the ability to listen. You have to be able to communicate efficiently and effectively with all levels of stakeholders. And it is all of this together that makes you a competent economic development professional. In order to acquire the skills, you need to understand some technical matters. And those technical matters are split into economics, business, psychology, and some approaches that we have in economic development. All of that you can get from Dev TV Academy. We have courses that attend to each of those skill areas, and it is in really learning those things and practicing them in your daily work that will take you to become a competent economic development professional. Thank you very much for going through this course, and thank you for listening. I hope this has provided you value and clarity about the next steps towards being competent economic development professional. What I will implore you to do is to first subscribe to our ebooks and newsletter on Dev TV Academy and enroll on one of the courses so you can begin to build your competence level. And more importantly, watch devtv.org on Facebook, YouTube, LinkedIn, and visit our site to see all other resources that will be useful for you as you journey through becoming a competent economic development professional. Thank you for watching, and see you on the next course.